Welcome back, everybody, to our second episode of Beyond the Best. We are the agency, an award-winning student-run interdisciplinary firm here at Quinnipiac, and we specialize in everything from social media, graphic design, content and copy, and photo and video. And we are joined by our conferences and events client. Welcome, Shannon.
Welcome. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Of course, we are so excited to have you. So we kind of wanted to open it up with you discussing what your department does here at Quinnipiac and just talking a little bit about, I know this is like a new program and role, so just discussing that a little bit.
Sure, thank you. So yes, our department is fairly new. We just started in July of last year. So, and I joined the university returning back as an alum in November of last year, so it's been 1 year. So our department was created for a few reasons to bring external events to the campus. So some of our goals obviously are to brand awareness, to increase the number of people who know about Quinnipiac. We want to make sure that everybody knows about the university and all the wonderful things it has to offer. So giving local community organizations, departments, external companies the opportunity to host their event here on campus. Obviously, it's an additional revenue generating source to bring outside groups to campus. And then our department is also here to make sure that we're minimizing risk for the events that are on campus.
Amazing. So so you guys do everything from like hosting conferences, events, and then one of the most exciting programs, which we have had the pleasure of working on a lot, has been your summer internship housing. So this is housing that's available to any student, not just Quinnipiac students who are 18 years or older, and they will live at the York Hill campus. So if you want to kind of explain what that program is like and everything about
Sure.
it.
So it's an opportunity for college-age students that are doing internships in the area to have a place to stay for the summer. We know a lot of our corporate partners that we work with hire interns, and we wanted to give them the opportunity to have a place to stay that we know is a safe area, and that they would have the opportunity to build a community with other interns and students their age, instead of just going online and trying to find an apartment in the area or subletting or staying with a family member that may live close by. We thought this would be a great opportunity for them to be able to get to stay on campus, especially if they're not a Quinnipiac student, to get to have the experience of Quinnipiac even if they don't go here. But it is also open to Quinnipiac students. So we want to make sure that we're broadening again how many people are coming to campus, and we want to make the summer just as lively as it is during the academic year. So this is new. This will be our second summer doing this, and yes, they will live up on York Hill. Some of the Quinnipiac students may still live on the main campus also, but they have the opportunity to stay for the whole summer, and we think it's just a lot easier than subletting or trying to find a place to stay.
Can you tell us a little bit about, how students are expected to apply, and sort of the plans with, social media, as that's something we've kind of worked on throughout the past couple of months?
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to be promoting this starting probably within the next week or two, hopefully. We're going to promote it through some of our channels. So we have Instagram, we have a website, we have different channels through our Alumni and Development Office that we work with quite frequently. So we'll be sharing that out. And for students to apply, there will be a registration that they can go online. We're hoping to open it by December 1st at the latest. They'll go online and they just fill out the application, and then we review it and we get back to them usually within a few days to let them know that we've received it. And then that they get approved pretty quickly. We'll send them a contract that they need to sign off on, just going over the expectations of staying on campus. And then they will need to submit a deposit to hold their spot. And then as we get closer to their check-in, they would have to pay the full deposit or the full payment in advance prior to arrival. But then they can choose how many weeks they want to stay on campus. If they're coming with a friend or somebody they know, they can note that in the reservation, and we will try and pair them up with those other individuals. And then they move into campus. We'll be there to check them in, to show them where they're staying. They'll have the suite has a kitchen, a bathroom, and 5 single rooms in each suite up at Eastview. So it's actually a great place to stay, air conditioning, and some great opportunities on campus to, utilize the gym facilities. If they want to go to the dining hall, we can set up that option. So some great options there.
Yeah, it's very wonderful to hear about this program because I'm not from here, so it's really nice that to have the option to stay on campus. And I live on York right now, and it's a wonderful like building and facility, and we use our kitchen a ton, so it's very nice to have those accommodations without like the stress of subletting and all of that stuff. So now going into some of like the work we've done. So one of the things that's been obviously my favorite part so far has been like featuring all of those wonderful additions that come with that. So the newsletter was one of the first things we did, so we were able to put that out at the career fair, and that was really nice. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about the career fair and how that went and promoting the program.
Sure. So the career fair, we brought a lot of our corporate partners to the career fair to show off what they have available for the students in terms of internships or full-time positions. So we use that as an opportunity to kind of walk around to those different organizations and let them know about this opportunity, because a lot of times they are hiring students who, while they go to Quinnipiac, don't live in the area. And so this was just another great way to let them know, like, you know, hopefully open up a broader range of students that they can hire, knowing that they could then say you can also stay on campus for the summer and you don't have to find, you know, housing on your own. So we did Central Connecticut University's career fair and the one here at Quinnipiac.
That's awesome.
And we handed out the flyers to the different organizations.
So obviously some of our goals we had as the agency were to attract non-Quinnipiac students to the program. We also did a lot of research about different programs at schools nearby. So we know BU has a big program, and so does Fairfield. I don't know if you want to talk about that, Carly, a little bit.
Yeah, so I know we kind of discussed during our meetings about some of the different universities that had similar programs, and it was kind of a game of compare and contrast, you know, trying to see what Quinnipiac offers that they don't, and vice versa. It was really helpful just to kind of generally understand the programs at different universities, but also kind of get a grasp of, okay, like how do they advertise that to students, and particularly how they put it on the website too, which I think is important.
Yeah, it was unique because we were able to do like analyze a website, which I haven't done that many website audits before.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done one or two, but it was definitely interesting to compare and contrast like the different universities' websites and see kind of how ours looks, which I think it looks great. We sent over recommendations, but I think with just a few tweaks, it'll be great and definitely a great resource for students. Along with that, we also know you guys are just starting to launch your social media pages, which we are very excited about.
Yes, we just launched our Instagram page last week, so definitely follow us.
So exciting.
Events at Quinnipiac.
There you go. Got to plug that
Exactly.
plug that Instagram in, huh?
So we're looking to kind of get more marketing out that way. And so we're working on a lot of flyers, and your team was super helpful putting together some great social media posts and templates for us to use. So we really appreciate that.
Thank you. Yeah, we had a fun time brainstorming with everyone back at the agency and all of our teams, kind of what would be the best content, especially when you start an account from scratch.
Yeah.
It's very unique to put different content out there and see what'll also attract a younger audience. I know Instagram has such a wide range of users, especially like now more than ever. So holding the attention of people our age is unique, but I think we've made some really great mock-ups, and it'll definitely bring some people in.
Yeah, it was definitely like a back and forth process with our social team, kind of like tweaking things, so, you know, based off of their feedback or your feedback and our feedback. So I think it's great now that we have a solidified, you know, template list, I guess, of, you know, different templates that conferences and events can pull for their social media.
Yeah, definitely. It's super helpful to have your age group give your feedback too, because obviously that's the target audience for the intern housing program.
Yes.
And so just hearing what you would be looking for and what would kind of sell you on this program if you were looking for this housing was really invaluable.
So looking forward, you know, past, you know, you mentioned that December coming up is the start of registration. Do you want to talk about a little bit about more previews for future ideas? What's the next big thing from here?
Sure. So great question. So we are hoping that the intern housing will grow exponentially from last summer. So last summer we really started off as just kind of a trial and error and to test it out. We had 11 students and it went really well. This year our goal is at least 50. But in other news, we are also working on a lot of summer youth programs staying on campus during the summer. So again, really building up that summer business. So we're working with the Quinnipiac QU summer programs team through lifelong learning to help them with a lot of the programs that they're doing. We're working closely with athletics on a lot of the camps that they're bringing here. And then we're also looking to bring some external athletic camps and programs, academic programs. So really trying to fill the summer up and keep it exciting and getting more people to campus to see the amazing facilities we have and how much this university has to offer.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think too, it's important to note that it seems like you guys collaborate with a lot of different aspects of the university, a lot of different offices, which is great to hear that you're able to build out programs through them. Especially, I know you've mentioned that Residential Life has done some pushing of the program to QU students specifically.
Yeah, we're working closely with them to market it to the Quinnipiac students. We do work with a lot of the different departments, which is one of my favorite parts of the job is that I do get to work with, facilities, custodial, AV, IT, dining. So I get to really collaborate with everybody, which is fantastic. And it's great because you just get so many ideas from different teams that are already working on things and how we can, make that even bigger and better. So that's exciting. Another thing that we're working on right now is holiday parties. So we have some great space on campus, like on the Rocks or the University Club at the arena. So we're really promoting that to the local corporations, law firms, insurance companies, pharmaceutical companies, nonprofits, through the chambers that we work with, to just let people know that we have such unique space to have their holiday parties or a staff retreat or, a 2-day conference or a leadership meeting. So those are things during the academic year that we work a lot on. We did probably close to 200 events in the past year. So we're really looking to continue growing that and bringing more of our community partners to the university.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I know I saw M&T Bank was one of our partners who was one of the first to use those spaces. So that was really cool. So moving forward, what advice do you have for us as young professionals looking to possibly work in the creative events space?
Sure. So that's a great question. I would say networking is probably the biggest thing. I think the more people you can meet with and bounce ideas off of and learn from, it's just, there's so many great opportunities out there in the events field alone. I mean, there's so many different jobs in events. And I think a lot of people, when you hear events, everybody automatically thinks of a wedding planner or, working in a hotel or something like that. But there's just so many different opportunities in the events field or in the marketing field. So I think the more you get out there and meet with people, join associations, go to, leadership trainings or trainings in general, I think it's just, there's so much knowledge to be gained out there. And, there's associations that do, they will fund a student to go to different classes or to the annual conference. So I think, if you have a general idea of what you want to be when you grow up, then look into those associations, see if there's something you can join. A lot of times they do, super low cost memberships for students. So I would definitely recommend looking into those. I'm part of Meeting Planners International, which has a ton of free resources on their website of just different classes that you can take, webinars. Like I said, there's a lot of times that they'll do scholarships for you to attend different meetings or conferences or even networking events. And it's just a great way to get yourself out there and meet more people. And the more people when you're out there looking for a job, if you've made friends with people on LinkedIn, you don't feel bad reaching out to them, just saying hey, sometimes it's hard to get your resume on somebody's desk. It's much easier if you can just send it to somebody and say, could you take a look at this? Could you forward this on to the person that it needs to get to. So networking.
Thank you. Yeah, I know that's definitely something we've heard pushed a lot to us as well. And I mean, we've gotten to meet you and many other people in your department through this. So I think that's even been fitting for us here at the agency. And then finally, what is one of like the biggest lessons you think you've learned from this year's like initiatives, especially building out this summer housing program and trying to open up our facilities here to bigger events and businesses?
Sure. So, I mean, I already knew that the spaces were beautiful, but I think the one thing that I've learned is that it takes a little time to build something, but you have to be super resourceful, because obviously when you first start off, you may not have all the resources that you need, because you know, sometimes it takes money to add resources. So I think just being as efficient and effective as possible when you're doing things. And so, you know, that's even things is like, how do you market without spending a ton of money, right? Like think of the resources you already have. You work with all these different departments. We have the agency, like we work with the chambers all the time. So just being as resourceful as possible when you're just starting out, because you don't usually have, you know, the big money budget or, you know, the resources. Those kind of come as you build the business.
That's great. I didn't even think about that. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
I think that is all for us today. Thank you so much for joining us, Shannon.
Thank you.
We had a wonderful time having you on. And we would love for you guys to follow both the agency. So we are at the agency at the agency QU, and conferences and events you want to say you're at?
Sure, we're events at Quinnipiac.
Amazing. Thank you guys so much, and tune in for the next episode of Beyond the Best.
Thank you.